This is the Sony A7C II, which isn't just another camera in the Sony lineup. This camera is packing a whole lot of tech and refinement into a more affordable body, putting full frame photography and video into more hands than ever before. The Sony A7C II isn't just a smaller A7 IV. This camera is changing photography and video as we know it. So let's get into the main specs that matter of this camera. But before I do, I am going to put the cap on before everyone has a fit in the comment section below. So the A7C II, it has a 33 megapixel backside illuminated sensor, which is the same one as what is found in the Sony A7 IV. It is a bump up from the A7C, which was 24 megapixels. The image quality with this image sensor is fantastic. It also has 5-axis image stabilization, which is capable of up to 7 stops of compensation. And it's also got the brand new AI autofocus, which is the same one as what is found in the Sony A7R5. It's got 759 phase detection points covering 94% of the frame, which has human, animal, airplanes, cars, insect, subject recognition. It covers it all. It's also got continuous shooting of 10 FPS, which includes the auto exposure and autofocus at that 10 FPS. For video, it can do 4K 30 from a 7K oversampled image, and for 4K 60 it is using Super 35 with a 1.5 times crop. But the big feature with the video is that it is capable of doing 10-bit 422, which means that you can use S-Log3 without it falling apart when doing exposure and color correction. It also adds S-Cinetone, which is a great color profile that comes from the Sony cinema line cameras. Now, of course, we can't talk about the A7C II without talking about the build quality and the ergonomics. The build quality is super nice. It feels like a premium camera in the hands. All the buttons and dials just feel like they are where they are supposed to be. They are comfortable and in the right locations on the body. I found I didn't need to think about where each button was when using it. The camera is also light, coming in at only 525 grams, so it is nice and light in the hands. So it's really good for walking around using. And the other thing that I think is really cool about this camera is that all cameras have got their own unique shutter sound, but this one, it's just so satisfying. Listen to this. Oh, I just love it. It just makes you want to keep shooting with it. Of course, you cannot talk about the A7C II without comparing it to the A7 IV, because they are pretty much both the same for the internals, but have different bodies. However, there are a couple of differences apart from the obvious ones. The A7C II has added features like the AI autofocus, and it also has an extra 1.5 stops of image stabilization. The menu is also slightly different compared to the A7 IV, but is more of a refinement and a tweak that could come to a future A7 IV firmware update. Well, I guess we'll see. Where the A7C II lacks compared to the A7 IV is not having a rear joystick. It's got lower resolution and smaller viewfinder. It's also got a micro HDMI port instead of a full port, which could be a sticking point for a few people. But the big one is that it has only got 1 card slot instead of 2 like the A7 IV has. This could be a key part that defines who is going to pick up this camera, because professionals are generally going to want those 2 card slots, especially if you're working with paid clients. So I've been using the A7C II for about a week now, and to be honest, before I got it, I thought I wasn't going to like it, because I've been using the A7 IV for 2 years now, and I know that camera like the back of my hand. Everything about it is in muscle memory. But since using the A7C II, I've actually really enjoyed using it. The form factor being smaller and lighter is actually really nice, even in my big meaty claw hands that I've got. The image quality for photos and videos are of course fantastic, because they are the same internals with the A7 IV, so there's no issues there. That 33 megapixel sensor with the 10-bit 422 colors and sharpness that it produces are amazing. Not having the dual card slots isn't really a deal breaker for me. I've always made sure that I've invested in good quality memory, because that is something you really shouldn't skimp out on. I've never had an issue with cards failing, but I bet you I've just jinxed myself with saying that, haven't I? Touch wood. The viewfinder is a bit smaller and lower res to the A7 IV, but that is something that I found I got used to pretty quickly. And also not having the joystick on the back, you can just use the touch focus on the screen. So you do get used to it. Who's this? What have you got? Got a little visitor. Come on, come say hi. What's this? What's this? Is this part of your pineapple? Hey, you want to tell me what you think of the camera? What do you think? Is it nice?
Okay.
Okay.
Phone.
Phone, yes.
Okay.
Okay. You think this camera is changing photography for people?
Okay.
Okay, yeah. She agrees. Say hello.
Hello.
Hello. Can you say like and subscribe?
Nice up.
Say bye.
Bye.
Bye. Aww. So why is the Sony A7Cii changing photography and filmmaking? Well, this camera is putting high quality full frame photography and video into more hands. Being cheaper and more accessible means that there has never been a better time for anyone who wants to take up photography or filmmaking. Going back a few years, the technology that is in this camera couldn't have even been imagined, or you would have had to mortgage your house to buy something decent, leaving photography and video to really serious professionals. What Sony have done, packing all that refinement and tech into this small body while being a more accessible price point, means that now more than ever, advanced photographic tools are not just for the privilege of the elite. This broadening of access to high quality equipment is revolutionizing who gets to tell stories, capture moments, and create art. It is opening doors for new talents and perspectives in both photography and filmmaking. The Sony A7Cii isn't just another camera, it is the combination of years and years of tech and refinement coming together in a small compact body at a more affordable price. So what do you think? Are you going to grab one for yourself, or are you already using this camera? Has it made photography and filmmaking more accessible for you? Let me know in the comments section below. And while you're there, help me out on this YouTube journey to bring more content like this to you. Every subscribe and like and share brings us closer to more photography adventures. My name is Jem Lang. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.